everybody, and welcome back to episode number 3 on the realistic farming series for Farming Simulator 25, where we use real tractors, we use real equipment, we have realistic tutorials, and we have a real lot of fun. We are on the Riverview map by Cavalier Roy, and we are on the way. We're gonna right where we left off, as we always do. We were bringing up our grain to feed our chickens, and that's what we're going to do. So without further ado, let's get going and warm the tractor up, get her started, because you never want to run a tractor that's cold. So this episode, we're going to finish harvesting that field, get the harvester set up for the next field, buy another tractor and our first baler, that we can start baling that straw up so we can get it off the field, because we want to make sure that we have absolutely let's see the weather here, no rain coming for this day, and so we have to get at least the bales off of the field for this day, and we'll go from there. So I hope you guys doing great, hope you guys doing awesome, hope you guys doing fantastic, because I am as usual. Anyways, let's get going. Let's get this. I want to see if I can start using my steering wheel a little bit more. Forgot, it's been a while since I've used the steering wheel. Sorry, I'm concentrating. I want to see if where I'm hitting here. Oh. Get this all situated there. And then there we go. No. Nice. I like it. Nice, nice, nice. I don't even know if it'll fit the whole thing, but it looks like it will. Okay, so it holds 100,000 and we've got 25,000, so that's a good thing. So we won't have to put it in there too much. Alright, so let's get back in here again. Get set up for our in-cab run here. I'll try to do every couple episodes here with an in-cab so that we have something to say that we're doing it a little bit more. I love the sound of this tractor. There we go. Oh, you know what? Can't use my steering wheel yet. I haven't adjusted the here we go. Haven't adjusted the sensitivity yet. It's been a while since I've used it. Every once in a while it resets. So let's do this and get this parked in here. Just because we're not going to need it right now. There we go. Get that started here. Sprint our little way here to get this finished up here. So we can go like that, and then we'll get her set up on the next field over. We're letting it warm up a little bit. Get it set up on the next field. I'll buy the next tractor, which we can do right now while we're waiting. I think I want to go medium. I want to go the 180, 190, and I want to go, let's see, there we go, 180. I like to go wide tires. There we go. So what I like to do, front loader, because we're going to be using this one as our front loader attacher. Okay, we're getting down on money here. So next we're going to buy our front loader, which is the Quickie 6 meter. Let's see. 7, yeah, we'll go 6 meter because it's not very wide based from there. And then we're going to go front loader tools. And I think I want to go, where's my bale spike? I don't like that one. Should we try this one? Since I've never used it before, I could use this one. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that would work for square balers. But it wouldn't be able to, because the loader I'm using wouldn't work that well with that. I mean, it might. So we'll try this one. Actually, let's upgrade to that. I'm like torn because I want to use it because it works for stacking it on trailers, it works for stacking it in the barn and things like that. But I think I want to go like this. All right, so let's get. I don't want to tab. There we go. This speed burst a little bit here. We have to get the here we go. Now we're rocking and rolling. We got our first. It's about right. You can harvest about 1 to 2 acres an hour, and we're on our first hour of gameplay right now. So we've been harvesting 2.5 acres an hour, which is just about right. So if you guys ever want to try to figure out how much it's going to how long it's going to take if you were to go to realistic, if you use this mod, the realistic speed, it's about 1 acre to 2 acres an hour, real life. So if you've got a 10-acre field, it's going to take you about 5 to 5.5 hours. So it's an easy way to figure it out. And like mowing, you can do about 5 acres an hour. So it's pretty cool. Like if you have a 10-acre field, it'll take you about 2 hours to mow it. But we're going to have a little bit. It also depends on the size mower you have too. Like our triple mowers can do about 5 to 6 acres an hour. Pretty close. We're going to actually go ahead and empty. Well, no, we won't. We won't need to. Look at that now. We're just going to keep filling that chicken pen until we can't fill it no more. And then once it's full, then we'll start storing it. Oh, you know what? I forgot to add the baler into the mod. So we're gonna have to wait on that till next episode. I'll shut that down, and yeah, because I gotta go put the baler into the mod before I do it, and I've already started recording, so otherwise it won't do the realistic speed, and I'll have to use my cruise control, which I don't want to do that yet. I'm testing the mod, so I guess we'll go back and harvest. So yeah, that's I don't want to buy it, and then once you own it, you can't add it to it. You have to add it before you put it into the game. Here we go. And well, I guess we'll just harvest this episode. We'll still have plenty of time because it's not supposed to rain all week long. But I wanted to get that cleaned up before we went on to the next field. Because I may do, depending on how much we get off this next field, I may make 2 of those grass fields because we're going to need a lot more bales of silage. So we're going to be using a square baler, a square baler. The class quadrant 1200 is what we're going to use. We're going to make 2 40-size bales, square bales. We're going to use the Anderson pickup loader. It's called. It loads 14 bales automatically, and it is super realistic. So we're going to be using that, and then we'll off stack them into wherever we need to. And I think that's the only equipment I have picked out so far. I do have a bunch of windrowers and a bunch of things picked up, which is pretty cool. So I think what we'll do is when we get, yeah, let's do a headland all the way around it first. And then we, like I said, then we'll be able to turn in the field. But it's pretty cool. I'm having so much fun on this series now, and it's going to be great. And it's kind of like, it's fun going back to teaching you guys and teaching you guys how to work the thing. And as you can see, every Friday or Saturday, I will be dropping my my short as well, so that we can, yeah, Fridays or Saturdays will be a video and a short, so that you guys will always have a short. And I dropped one on realistic speeds of harvesting, so this will be full here pretty quick. So we got, I think it holds 12,000, right? So we got 12,000 off the first one field. That's pretty good. I mean, that'll last my 10 little chickens for a long time. So if I fill it, I won't have to fill it. I'll just put it in a silo and save it. It'll be pretty cool. It'll probably last us a while, but I think, like I said, it's going to be interesting to see how we're going to make money. Oh yeah, forgot about that. It's 10,500, I think it is. Maybe, yeah, I think it might be. Go. Just kind of speed burst a little bit so we can kind of get moving a little bit here. I love the sound of these tractors, these older ones. Really cool. Love this trailer because it has like an auger wagon that goes up the back of it. Now, I think I can... where is it that... yeah, I thought so. Okay. There we go. There we go. That's what I wanted, was the shroud to be changed. See? Now it's in. Backing in there. Nice. We're going. We can get that off there now. So, the other thing I got to add is manual discharge, because in a harvester you push a button to unload it. Pretty cool. So manual discharge, manual fueling, all that stuff. Now I'm going to do a little trick here, and we're going to do this little section here, and then we're going to back up and do the next row. So it'll be right on the even amount there. Get up a little bit past the straw swat so we don't run into that. There. Just like that. I kind of wanted to do the bales, but I want to make sure I add that into the thing so I can test it to make sure the baler works. One of these days I got to have a tutorial on how to add it. How to add vehicles and things like that. I think I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that instead of a short. I'll do that on a Saturday or something. But we're doing well. We're doing well, and it's interesting to see the different perspectives. Sometimes that people really enjoy the big farming, and people enjoy the unrealistic auto load, and then there's people like my hardcore people. My Russell and my AKs and my Ians, those guys all love the realistic stuff. So it's pretty fascinating to me to get the different perspectives of how to play the gameplay. And it's really nice, actually. I'm just kind of enjoying doing things. Let's do this little section right here in cab. We can get the best of both worlds. A little quieter in here. It's making a nice tight swath too, which is good. So on this map, probably around a 400 horsepower harvester is what you need. Because of the hills, and it's just enough to get up over the hills. Oh, almost 3,000 for the squirrel cam. There we go. There. Pretty cool. I like having a little bit smaller fields. I'm so used to doing with doing logging and everything, doing the big farming and things. But I think what I'm going to do is when I go back to when I go back to logging, because I'm not going to give it up. I just cut too many trees down. It's in my blood. I think when I go back to logging, I'm going to do it realistically, I think, because I was having fun cutting down the trees with the harvester and loading them by hand. I was just having fun. I'm not saying I'm going to use a claw again, but I am going to use the big bag lifter. There. Now we'll go back and forth, just like we did on the other one. Or our up-downs, as they would say. We did our rounds already, or aka headlands. My dad used to shorten it down and call it rounds because you're going around the field. So instead of calling it headlands, which is the technical term for it, we would call it on the farm rounds, because you go around the field however many times. You'd say, okay, we're going to do 4 rounds, which means you go around the field 4 rounds, which is the same as headlands. That's just the terminology I use. And now we're going to do our up-downs. So, pretty cool. And there are multiple ways to do up-downs. Some people like to do the shorter way to do it. But the longer way, if you go the longer way of the field, it's less turns. You stay straight longer, because as when you want to try to be as efficient as you can, when you're doing the short side, like if you were to go this way with the field, you're doing a lot of turning because it's so short. But if you're doing longer, you stay harvesting straight, which means more grain into the header, more grain into the tank, more grain into the silo. So that's the fastest way to do it. That I've always done it. Same as when you're mowing. Now when you're mowing and you can turn, and a little bit turn radius is a little bit tighter, you can get away with doing the shorts. But I've always preferred to do, as many rounds as I need to get it so I can turn around, and then my up downs, which is my long ways. All right. These 30-minute videos go great. I love it. They go fast. And then the next episode that I do, we will have the baler in there, and we'll bale that one field up, because then we're still going to have one more episode to do, at least this field. So we'll bale that field up, get it baled up. We may even cultivate it, plow it, seed it, the whole 9 yards, and get it done before this month is over. And then we can kind of chip away at, keep harvesting, because I may or may not keep, seeing as how we're getting a really good yield off of it. I don't need a lot of grain right now, so I might take at least one of them at the end and make it a grass field. So, or 2 of them, just so that we can always be mowing, always be doing something on the farm. And if you're waiting on a harvest, then we will, if you're waiting on a harvest, you always want to be either mowing or doing something. Now, in the wintertime, because we're not doing it we're doing it realistically, after the month of November, I'm not going to be able to mow anymore. So December, January, February, I don't mow. So I've got to make sure I get enough silage bales lined up to where I can make it through the winter, because we're not mowing at that point. So when it gets to be that point and I'm not doing anything, we're going to do as much field prep as we can with the ground being not frozen. If the ground is frozen below 32 degrees, then we're going to, I don't know what we'll do. Maybe we'll work on we'll always have to feed our animals. So what I may have to do is get through a couple days. I don't know. We're going to try to figure out what we need to do. I think what I'll do is stacking bales or rearranging bales and things, so that we always have something to do. Because once we get into those months and we can't really do much of anything, like we can't mow and we've got all our field done. Now, as long as it's not 32 degrees, as long as it's above it, we can cultivate, we can lime, we can fertilize, we can, and I really want to use nothing but manure. So I also want to see if I can purchase We already have some manure going right now, but I want to see if I can purchase manure pallets if they have them, and that way I can always buy them and store them on the farm for in the case of like the winter. So we also have to have enough straw too saved up to last the winter. Then again, it's not the end of the world if it doesn't have straw. It will just create slurry. So, but I want to try to, like I said, we're trying to do it realistically. And remember, we have the 465 now, but once we get done buying equipment that we need, and I got one more big purchase to do, which is I got a trailer and then I got the mower, which is a big purchase. But I'm gonna use the Forschwitz 303 mod because it has the windrower, the tedder, all that stuff in it. So we can just mow it and then windrow it and then bale it and then silage wrap it. Where are we at here? Yeah, okay. And that's 100,000, something like that for that. The trailer's like 83 or 100,000 for that. But that'll take care of the mower, the windrower, the tedder if we want to do hay. And so we'll have pretty much everything that we need to have as far as windrowers, tedders, and things like that. And it'll do, the one machine will do it all. So that's why I'm going to invest in the property now, or the equipment now that we can. And then what else do I got to do? I got to get a lime spreader, manure spreader, lime spreader, manure spreader, and a seeder. But they shouldn't be too bad because I've got the old one, the old rusty manure spreader that I like to use. We also have a front loader already, so we can use that on our tractor. But eventually I want to get either a skid loader or a telehandler to scoop up manure, to load bales, do all that stuff. So we're going to end up with about 2 loads off this field. Now when we get to the end of this one, we'll actually say our goodbyes now. But when we get to the end of this row, this up down here, we'll load it up and go fill it. So on that note, please look out for each other. Look out for yourselves. Look out for each other, and most importantly, look out for each other's families. Be sure to like and subscribe and share. Hit the little notification ding bell so you get notified when Fury drops a video. Be sure to enjoy the night, the day, the weekend, whenever you're watching this. And remember, I love you all, and I will catch you guys right back here tomorrow with the continuation series, the realistic farming series. But we're going to, like I said, wherever we are, whatever the time is, we stop and we come right back the next day. And I'm really enjoying doing that because it just, there's no missing of anything, if you know what I mean. So when we get this row here done, we will get our pipe unloaded. We'll get the trailer unloaded, and we'll probably be just about where we were last time. So I think I'll use, there we go. We'll shut the, real quick. Like I said, I gotta just kind of plan it out so that we can have stuff to do. I also think that's when you can sell bales. That's when you can sell your milk. Things like that, so that we'll always have something to do. Now this is heavy. Remember, this tractor's only 145 horsepower, so it's not very big. But I prefer using smaller tractors. I really do. Here we go, guys. We'll get this loaded up and we'll be done for the day. All right, let's shut this down, and we are going to wrap up that. So we'll run this, shut down. We'll run this down. We'll put it right in the chicken pen, and we will be off for the next harvesting section. I will make sure that I put that baler in and get the right speed set up for it and get everything like that so we can actually bale with it. So it'll be pretty cool. So on that note, get out of here, everybody, and I will catch you guys right back here tomorrow with another episode. Have a great one, everyone.